Good evening, everybody. We are back once again. It's another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Thursday. Excited to be out here today and just having a conversation with every one of you. As you as I'm sure you haven't seen us for a week now or so, but we have brought ourselves back. So do me a favor as you're joining in, whether you're watching the rebroadcast or the replay, make sure you're sharing and we can have as many people as possible come on board and be part of our conversation. So do the needful, and just share and invite people to join in. So we want to have an amazing conversation with everybody today. So every one of you just do what you can to be able to share and let us know what city, what country, where you guys joining in from. So before I introduce my guests, I don't even like to call them guests because the platform for Talk Lounge is basically people just having conversations. So we are not journalists, so we don't make our job professional. We just relax and just have a conversation. So tell me what city, what country you are joining in from. And then, secondly, you are going to share and invite people to be part of this conversation. You're going to invite people to be part of this conversation. So do the needful share and join in and be part of this conversation. So I'm going to share on my end and everybody else, and then we're just going to go out, introduce people that are sitting with us today. So let me just quickly do the shares, and then we are going to go on. So what city, what country are you guys joining in from? So do the needful. So do the needful of sharing. So let's share, let's invite people and let us know what city you guys are coming in from. And I'm sure you can tell by the title that we have out there. So if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you have any thoughts, uh, it'll be great to have you. Just bring it out and then type it out, and then we can get started and just take take it take it on. A lot of people have questions, but when an opportunity presents itself, they disappear. so, so let's do this. No running away. We're gonna have this conversation. All right. So I am going to start with Pastor Chris, all the way from Chipata. Pastor Chris, welcome to our conversation today. How are you doing? And how's Chipata? Your mic is muted.
Thank you so much, Coach. Chipata is okay. It's just that it's
Awesome.
hot, extremely hot. We are believing God and praying for the rains, and
Amen.
I'm expectant to have a very good conversation on this platform. But like you have
Awesome.
indicated, disclaimers must be: we are not politicians, and I'm not a
Yes.
politician. We are Zambians who live in
Yes.
Zambia, who are concerned with our day-to-day activity, and we feel that we should have a talk and we should have a say. Please don't politicize us.
Amen.
We're just men that
Amen.
wants to share ideas. So join us on that end. I think it will be good for us.
Amen. All right. We have a new kid on the block. Mr. OMC. Obi, welcome. How are you doing?
Thanks a lot, Coach. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here. These are heated conversation, and I'm looking forward to this one.
Awesome. So tell us about yourself since you're new to the lounge.
Well, I'll introduce myself as a pharmaceutical business executive. I'm
Yeah.
an entrepreneur, and leadership is one area that I'm interested in, and I'm developing myself to be a leadership strategist. So this topic at hand is quite important, not only to me, but to the people out there, so that we can see where Zambia is headed in the next 5 years. Yeah, so I'm
Are
not
you
a
only planning for
politician.
5 years?
No. Of course, planning is not for 5 years. This
Yeah,
country has to have a long term. Even our
yeah.
grandchildren should come and benefit from what is happening today. So it
That's
has to be long term.
awesome. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I'm very excited for us to be able to have this conversation. And please, if you're watching in live and you're here on this platform, do me a favor. If you have any question, if you have any thought, if you have any suggestion, please feel free to be able to put it out in the chat box. Just type it out there, and then we'll be able to bring it on the screen and to be able to look at it and just answer it, and just bring it out. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm very excited. So today we're talking about the past couple of weeks, there's been a lot of conversations. I posted my thoughts on my social media platforms as well. There's just been a couple of thoughts about people, just with different opinions regarding the 100 days of HH being president of the Republic of Zambia. And a number of people have got questions, a number of people have got opinions. And today we're just going to break it down. There's a lot of controversies that, people are bringing in theories, that people are bringing in, people's opinions are coming out. And I mean, I would have loved to debate some of those opinions, just bring some of those people live on the platform and just have a one-on-one, because I think there's a lot of those things. I'm going to start with, Obi, on your end. How do you rate the president's 100 days in office? How do you rate President Hakainde? I mean, for the 100 days that he's been president and in office.
I'm sure that's $1 million question that everyone out there is waiting for. There's been a lot of corridor talks, as you've put it, Coach. And as we talk about rating President HH, there are quite a number of factors that we would look at. But in the early stages, to call the shots, it's not bad to say that I would still give him 50% out of 100 in the 100 days that he served as a Republican president.
Okay. Why would you give him 50%?
President HH has come in with a different leadership style. Of course, that is centered on making things right. So his type of leadership is a straightforward kind of leadership, which is a plus. We've seen issues of is centered on issues of corruption. So he doesn't want to tolerate corruption in this country, and that's something that we've seen that was entertained in the past. So on that one, it's if we are to head in the right direction, primarily we have to do away with corruption. So that's a good step. And when we look at how he's coming to try and rebuild the relations that we lost in the previous government with key stakeholders globally, I think it's a good step in the right direction, I would say. And so some of those pointers would make me give him 100%, because if we don't have these these relationships around us, where are we going to seek help from? So internally and externally, is trying to balance up his governance systems.
Okay.
And you can't go anywhere if you don't have strong governance systems. So that's a plus for me. I would give him 50%.
Okay, great. Pastor Chris, your take?
Thank you so very much, Coach. Yeah. One thing that is very interesting, if you have stayed in Zambia for some time now, which I believe some they stay in Zambia, but currently lost to the current affairs. Which is very interesting. That's why you can say whatsoever that you want to say. But if you have been following the trend, is that Zambians we love to talk. Talking is part of our life, and in talking, we talk anything. Number one, why is HH taking time to bring out his cabinet? It has been a talk and a talk and a talk, and the moment he brings up the cabinet, everyone is quiet, and the other talk now comes in totally in a different way. So if we are to check what the president has done so far, we are not basing on the opinion of people. We are basing on what we have seen. This is what is important, and what we have seen is what should speak, whether we have seen progress or we have seen retrogression in terms of the expectation that we have as a nation. Whenever we hear of the change of government, we think that everything is going to change suddenly. The economy will change. Everything is just going to change. But in the event that these things are not coming out, we intend to say, I think we made a decision and it was a wrong decision. And we now begin to demonize the current president, and then we begin to usher in some praises to the previous presidents that have been there. And this is an African disease. This is an African disease. African are only appreciated when they are gone. African leaders are only appreciated when they are gone. When they are in power, you can celebrate for them for a few days, and after that, they have become your greatest enemy that you have had. So, one thing that I want to say is this: we are not in heaven. We have not gone to heaven. We are still on earth, and we are not perfect. We are still human. And there is no perfection that will ever come from the president to say he has done the perfect thing. That one, we should not expect it. The way we live in our homes, when you get your salary, what you do with your money, that is the way that we are looking at the president. He has come into our big house. What is he doing? What plan has he given to us? He has already given to us, first of all, the first thing to say, my friend, this is the working team. Are we okay with the working team? If we are okay with the working team, then we know that our leader is going towards the right direction. The next thing that he has to say is, my friend, I know that you have been fighting among yourselves, and the fight that you have been having is the pool of money just going to some little few people among all of you. But this time around, I want to distribute it. I want every one of you that is able to offer your service, your skill, and everything that you can come in and do that in a professional way and in the right way. He has provided that platform. My friends, you were fighting and your fight was not okay. Every time you want to jump into a bus, you would fight. I don't want that. Just a word that came to an end. Just a word. What do we want? Do we still want to go back to that? We know that that is the direction that we wanted. That peace, that serenity, that's what we wanted, and we are seeing it. Now, the other crucial part, which is very crucial for me, I was looking at the president, which way is he going to go? Is he going to go Chinese way, corruption, or is he going to go European way? And this has to do with things that have to do with paying the price for the future. We enjoy now and pay the price for the future. Is he going to go inward? Is he going to see what we have inward? That will take a long time for us to reach where we are supposed to go. So what did he do? He had to sit down and say, okay, I may go the Chinese way, but I'll go the European way, which we have to enjoy a little bit now, but we are going to pay the price later. So in other words, the fight, the roadmap has been set. If you are talking of saying, are we seeing that economical change suddenly? Definitely that is not there, but he has given us a roadmap to say, this is my budget, and this is what I intend to do with my budget, and this is the available money, and this is the source that we are going to get the money from. I think, to me, what now we need is, so far, so good. So we are waiting to see the implementation of whatsoever has been tabulated as the projection for Zambia. That's my direction.
Wow.
That's a good one, Coach. Before you... Coach,
Yes, Obi. Pastor Chris set you on fire.
That's an interesting one, and thanks, Pastor, for that guidance. And if you look at where I was coming from, that's why I gave him a 50%. He's done well with when it comes to laying the ground, because he understands where he's going. But at the moment, I understand, even from a youth point of view, representing fellow youths, there's a bit of discrepancy between the promises that were made and the actualization of those promises that were made. But we have a long way to go. That's why I will not be in haste to give President HH 100% or 20%. So at the moment, I'm still sticking to 50%.
50%. Pastor Chris, I must be able to say that you've really hit it right with the conversation, and truthfully speaking, listening to you speak, I kind of felt like I wish more Zambians should be listening to these conversations, with such kind of mindsets and the things that have been downloaded and been put across. I strongly believe that the things that you've laid down, I have not heard so many people lay them down the way you put them. Of course, I agree with you 100%, but you didn't give a rating. How do you? Yeah. What percentage are you giving President HH?
Wow, the rating aspect, it's a very interesting part. There's marriage, and there's also driving school. When you are going into marriage, you are given certificates there and then. But you are going into a driving school, you have first of all to do the training, and then after that, that's when you are given the certificate. So what we are doing right now, we are approaching the president as a marriage, kind of. We just want to give him certificate as he's coming into the office. That's why you find that we have more accident in marriage than on the road, because the challenge that we have is that we give people the certificate and then we say, go on job on training. And then we now allow the men to start making mistakes and all kinds of things. Then we start blowing the whistle. So to me, the rating is going to come, just like it came for HH. It's going to come, and it's going to come through my voting. That is what is going to tell me to say, okay, this man has performed like this with the entire cabinet. Now, this is what I'm going to use for the 5 years that is going to come. That's when my decision is going to come in. At the moment, he's still building up himself to ensure that he meets up the rate. So if it's going to the rate, we have 5 years. So I not that this is what he has performed, not that this is his level, but we know that there is, even in school, there are those theory and there are those practical, and then they merge the results together so that they give you the overall. So at the moment, so far, I will put him on 20% as we go, because there is another 80% that is remaining, which has to do with the 4 years that is coming. So that is for me for now. Every year, if it is to evaluate every year, if it's 100 days to evaluate him on 100 days, I'll vice versa it. I'll give him 80% because there is still some more implementation that is there. But if it's 5 years, you are muted, Coach.
Coach, you're muted.
Coach is muted. I think
was
he's
actually
bringing
going to
out
tell you
serious.
to give it on the 100 days, not on the future. So I'm glad you've given. I'm glad
Okay.
you've given him the 100 days.
I think I'm fair enough on that one.
Yeah, I think there was a lag. Not that I'm muted. I think there was a bit of a lag on my internet.
Okay.
I actually give you 100% for you for putting it across.
So we are 50, 80, and 100%. We are not bad. We have done. We are okay. We are within the range.
Out of 100 days again, Coach, I thought it was 8, it was 20. Then you are giving 80, I'm giving 50. Is it?
A coach is giving 100 and I'm giving 80. And
no, I mean, this 50. Is your personal. So no, I said I haven't actually given mine. I was saying I'm giving you 100, Pastor Chris.
Oh, okay. Wow. Thank you, Coach. I get excited when I hear it from my coach.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's my opinion. I am going to make some very bold my analysis before we go into the details, the meat of our conversation. Obi, can you get me?
Yes, Coach, I can hear you.
Okay, I think there's a slight delay. I actually just thought maybe it was just on Pastor Chris's end, but I think maybe there's a delay on everyone else. I don't know whose internet, whether it's my internet or I don't know from where the delay is coming from. But I hope so. So maybe we'll hold on 30 seconds when one speaks so that we pick it up from there. So there's a slight internet delay. Obi, can you hear?
Loud and clear.
I think now we are okay.
Yeah, so now we are okay.
Yeah.
It's perfect from my end.
Okay, so I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna give some very bold statements. Now this is and I think I need to give a disclaimer earlier on to the Zambians, because Zambia bali shupa. One day they're gonna turn and say Coach Steady was supporting HH. So I am going to give a strong disclaimer. I am not UPND. I am not affiliated to any political party. But for a long time, I have always prayed and believed that God is going to give us a visionary leader. You notice when I'm talking about business, leadership, politics, I always put that word visionary. I don't just say leader or business people or entrepreneur. I always put visionary leader or entrepreneur. My conviction is that I feel for the first time as a country, we have a visionary leader. We've had leaders before. I feel for the very first time, and this is excluding President Kaunda, because his term, his presidency was in his own league. What he dealt with, no other president has been able to deal with. So I'm not counting President Kaunda, but starting from all the leaders that we've had, I feel finally we've had a visionary leader, and someone who practically knows where he wants to take this country. My heart is very settled. My heart is very at peace with the type of president that we have, compared to what we've been able to have in the past. So the 100 days, I have no complaints. I have zero complaints, for the 100 days that he's been in office. I think there's some intangible things we don't count and calculate. It's the fact that I'm a Zambian and I can write what I want to write with respect and honor, but speak my truth without being afraid of cadres, without being afraid of these thugs, cadres, political thugs. Like everybody is in a space, where we are in a good space where we're not afraid of cadres. For once, you are confident that if someone is taken to the police for the crime that they've committed, the law enforcement officers will be able to do their job without a politician interfering. If someone is going through a legal process, they have they've been charged with an offense or going to court. You are a place where you feel like the judiciary, the law enforcement agencies are in a place where they are operating independently without the influence of politicians. Obi spoke about the battles of corruption. I kind of feel like the battle is happening without the hand of politicians. And that is restoring back the confidence of what it's supposed to be as a country. I feel like if SCCA, not SCC, SCC, not SCCA, SCC, if SCC is fighting their political or their corruption fights, no politician is involved. So there's nothing like call your friend who's in a high position to be able to come and bail you out. If you have stolen from the Zambian people, if you've been accused, you'll go through the normal process. Without someone saying, oh, this president was able to do this president was able to do this. I feel we are in a good space where all these things are happening. We're in a good space where, where that police officers will be able to do the job. And if they don't do the job, there will be somebody who will be able to bring them, bring some accountability into that space. So we have a president like no other. We have a president who is visionary. We have a president who's looking out for the best of his country. And Pastor Chris has laid out the list of the so many things that I have not heard Zambians. I think you need to write an article, Pastor Chris, and let it be circulated. Because a lot of those things you articulated in the most brilliant way, that that's what Bemba say. I don't know how Bemba say that.
Yeah.
But
no, that's right.
Everyone of us, come again.
I'm saying that's right. They put that's the way it goes. Oh, okay. So you're right.
All right, I'm understanding. So yeah. So all of these things we've been able to see happen in this country without a lot of these interferences happening. So for me, and I was speaking to Sanderson yesterday, and we said, Obi, you are a leader. Pastor Chris, you are a leader. Sometimes people don't, and I think this is one thing we need to get to Zambians. When you have never built anything of your own, you don't know what it's like to have a dream. When you have never started up a business, when you have never run an organization, you don't know the process. What Steady is doing today is a 15 years journey, and I've not even hit my 30%. I have not even hit my 20% of my journey, but it's been 15 years. So when we read people, you have to compare with the journey that you have taken and what you have been through. Then it becomes easy for you to be able to put in and what you're supposed to put in. So for me, I am at a place, the only one I will fight instantly is when I begin to see thugs and cadres from PF joining UPND. At that point, then the UPND begins to discredit themselves and who they are supposed to be. But as in regards to where we are going as a country, I am very confident that we're in a good place. As with the strategies that our leaders are taking, I have no issues. Of course, I must be hasty to say that a lot of our ministers need a lot of training and coaching and mentorship. I couldn't believe that a whole minister of finance would make a statement to say we are going to increase fuel because a lot of youths don't drive. And then he makes an apology and that's a problem with black leaders. I'm going to rant on this one. That's a problem with us. If you have made a mistake, just withdraw your statement. Don't even try to make it. You are a leader. There's no way you say a lot of youths don't drive. It doesn't change anything. You made a statement, withdraw it. Give another reason why you're going to put, like, give a tangible reason. This is where people begin to question people's credibility, because you are an intelligent man. You've done an excellent job with everything that you've been able to do in your life. They're just certain statements that should be below you. You should not be able to make certain statements. Tell us the fuel prices are going to go high because we are removing the subsidies. That's all. Don't begin to say, young people will not be affected. It doesn't even make anything. So if anybody in his team is watching, tell him to withdraw. Make it an apology. I made a mistake. You shouldn't even say, this is what I meant, this is my context. If you made that statement, just withdraw that statement. That's really what my thought is regarding that.
Wow.
Maybe just on the same. Sorry, Pastor Chris.
Yes.
Before I lose my thought.
No problem.
On the same issue of communication, I think this is one of the reasons I'm giving a 50%, because I've not seen communication systems that the UPND government is using that is straightforward. We've got a lot of people coming in. This one says this, the other one says that. So we need to see a strategy in that area. Who are they putting up front? Who's coming to approach who? Because every one of us, everyone of us are waiting to hear from that spokesperson for the president. We are waiting to hear what the chief government spokesperson will say to the people of Zambia. But if you hear, there are a lot of people who are saying quite a number of things that are leading to bringing hunger in a lot of youths. We are coming from a point where most of the Zambians, most of us were not at peace. We are not at peace, and we're trying to, restore the confidence that we must have in our leaders. And so, if we hear certain statements coming up and about from nowhere, someone such a high official say or utter a statement like that, it brings worry to us. To say where is the government, and it may not be an opinion from all the leaders around President HH, but that area, the UPND government has to work on it for us to move in the right direction. That's my thought.
Great, Pastor Chris, and I think John agrees with you, Obi. He says the UPN government has to work on communication. There should be one person to give their position on things. So John agrees with you, Obi.
I want to bring out 2 points on the same aspect. The truth of the matter is, it's clear. I think I'm saying our political leaders, they shouldn't forget, and it's so early to forget. Of course, it's human nature to forget easily. That's who we are anyway. We have that part where it takes time to be grateful. But from the beginning, the president actually made it very clear to say we are very much appreciative with the young people who have played a major role in ensuring that they put us into power. And we are going to do something for them. I think that has been on the top list of his head. What we are looking for is the implementation part of it. But at the same time, we should also realize that there are personalities that wouldn't want to come out straight, like Coach has put it. There are personality that can come with very loose statement. The last statement that is ringing in my mind was disgruntled youths, and that costed the party a lot. It costed them. Just that statement, it costed them sincerely. And with the way it's coming out right now, there should be a system where some information are taken into consideration. Like this question of the youth in Zambia should never be ignored. And the youth, they comprise of the majority of the nation. And if you toy around with the youth, you are indirectly toying around with the nation. So you must be careful with what you are saying. I think this statement should be clear, but we should also consider it that let's take it personal. It's just a person who has, and will not take personality into consideration. No, we will not do that. But we will ensure that we know that some of these statements are rectified so that they push us and move us ahead, so that we don't allow the young ones to have that statement to say, I think we are becoming usable and rejected at the end of the day. And that will create a very bad impression and a very bad precedence in the area of politics, because the youth are the driving force. The youth are the key, and carry them, go with them. And on the aspect of corruption,
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very
true. Go on, Pastor Chris.
And on the aspect of corruption, I thank God, because I think it's high time we begin to realize, even the institutions themselves, they need to begin to realize. You see, the way the president has come out, if we don't hold the bull by its horn, we will lose a lot of things. And why we are here, because we totally have a different government. So in that approach, I want to see a situation where the one that is coming out on the media, the one who is publicized, who seem to be on the wrong with the institutions that are in government, it's not the opposition per se. It is a wrongdoer, regardless of which political party he's coming from. We want to see that they are working, because the way it is right now, it's like, okay, so let's begin to fight corruption. It's not corruption they are fighting at the moment. What they are fighting at the moment is the recovery. We have not. What I want to see corruption is the money that is presently in circulation and the projects that are in circulation. Is there any mismanagement? Who is mismanaging that? Let these institutions come up and say, this is somebody that we have found who is doing something. Then we are fighting. Then we are going forward. Then there is that fight. At the moment, calling it a fight against corruption, I've not seen it. And what I want to see is a proper fight in the present government that we are in. At the moment, there is a recovery process, and I hope that it will be successful with whatsoever that is happening. To me, that's so. There are two angles here. There is recovery and there is a fight. I want to see a fight inside. I want to see, we are three here. We know that, oh, coach, there is this money that we have put. Who mismanaged it? What happened? I mean, they should be that introspective. They should be that responsibility, and they should be that accountability among ourselves. Then we know that we have put people in the right place who are fighting what we desire to see as a country and as a nation. Then we can trust the people that are in full place. But where it's the moment I hear that somebody has been caught, it has to do with the opposition. When somebody has been caught, it has to do. It's okay, but it's like let's fight back. That to me, I consider it a recovery process, which is okay, and it's a routine, and everyone who is in power today should know that after 5 years. Yes, coach.
So, sorry, Pastor Chris, maybe to ask you a question, and maybe I have a different opinion on that part, because I kind of feel like it's too soon. Do you think in 3 months they started to steal?
Yes.
Do you think they've already started to steal in 3 months?
The problem is
for the UPND government to start fighting.
You see, the problem is not what we have here, I know that we have UPND. I know that. But we have personality. And this personality have got totally different agenda. And they should not be hiding in the name of UPND at the expense of the nation. It shouldn't be there. But we should see the institutions going and fight that. That's what I want to see. I'm looking at it to say we have all these institutions. The name of this institution is not to fight the political parties, is to fight the wrongdoers. And that should be there.
Awesome. And maybe also to and I think that's why I say on this platform that each one of us come in with our independent opinions, which is perfectly good because that's what we need for this country. For me, maybe my direction would be, I personally feel the only people that we are chasing for corruption right now is people that have been in the previous governments. Those are the people that are eligible. Those are the most eligible people for us to chase for our money. And like you say, those are the most eligible people for us to just go after and get back our money. I strongly feel that currently, unless people have got courage, I feel like currently everybody who's working in this institution know that Bali will not be able to play games with them. So everyone is paying attention to doing what is right. But where I will lean on Pastor Chris with those institutions, and I don't know whether it's their mandate, is we need to start creating systems where there are no loopholes for people to steal, like at the Ministry of Health. Like what demon lives at Ministry of Health? What demon lives at that ministry? Like how can a ministry be so, you know, so I don't want to use the right word. I don't want to use the wrong word. How can
are you forgetting that 50% of the budget, almost 50%, goes to Ministry of Health?
But that's what I'm saying, Obi, that we need to have proper systems at Ministry of Health. We need to have, like, for me, that's for now, Pastor Chris, that's my proposal, is that I don't know who's in charge of creating systems. We need to have systems so that there are no loopholes for corruption in these people that are coming in, you know, into with the new Dawn government, so that they don't take advantage of the systems that the previous government used for them to be able to steal and get away with it. So I feel that there's need for us to be able to strengthen, you know, those systems. Those, you know, I don't even know who strengthens systems that there shouldn't be corruption. You know, I don't even know who works around systems that, I don't know whether it's you know, and corruption that gets involved and goes to Ministry of Health and says, hey, these are measures we are putting in. If we catch you, we are pouncing on you. Or they'll go to, you know, local government and say, hey, these roads you are building in Wangombo, so watch out for this. We are coming after you. I don't know who does that. I don't know who really puts in, like, you know, standards
Coach,
of how.
Let me cut you. Let me cut you short, Coach. There is something interesting.
Yeah, that's fine.
That it will interest you to know. I'm sure you were hearing the president. He would say, I mean, it doesn't make sense. He would say, this one cost 3 kwacha, and then this one cost 10 kwacha. Why go to 10 kwacha? You see, he was saying, I don't understand the mathematics that is there. and that is where the problem is. The problem is the policies that are there. What they say is that we had to buy this at an expensive price because cheap is expensive. You get that statement? So we had to buy something expensive because if you buy it cheaply, it's going to be expensive at the end of the day. So it is the purchasing policies that are there. And it renders even the president, the ministers, it renders them, they will just be there. The executive will just be watching. They'll just be watching and say, what is happening? How did you buy this? And they will convince you to say, wow, you don't know that cheap is very expensive. So we had to buy this, which is expensive, at this price. And they'll give you all the documentation. But meanwhile, money has been siphoned into personal accounts. But they will convince you with. So I am glad with what you are saying, that the system, if they can only work on the system, I'm telling you, a lot of things are going to go in a different way. But where do we start from? And that's the beginning that should be there. I think, to me,
Awesome.
if we push seriously on the aspect of system, then we are going forward, and we change certain things. Like the way now a lot of things have been changed to say, okay, you promise to deliver using your own vehicle, but now as government we have our own vehicle. So why use your own vehicle? We'll give you our vehicle and you charge us with whatsoever that you want to do. So this now, it will not work well to a mind that has interest to get something. It will be, no, he's a bad guy. He's not a good man. You see, so the closing of the loophole to steal, we would call steady a stingy person, and we'll start organizing people that will see you as a bad person. And we'll start, that's why sometimes don't open your ears to everything that you are hearing. They may confuse you. There are people who are just not happy with whatsoever that is happening, and they will organize themselves and paint you black, and yet you are white. And this is happening. So it's important that we have our personal opinion, like the way we are doing it right now, without any feeling that if I say this, I'll be visited by any person. I am free and I'm okay and I'm saying whatsoever that I want to say. And I pray that some of these materials, we thank God that they will be on this media, they will be kept. Anyone would come and have reference to say what we are saying is actually recorded, documented. We are not afraid, and we can come back and say, this is what we say. And to me, if we work on the system, we are going forward.
So I think
Amen. So Obi, before you say what you're saying, could you read comments?
Sorry? Okay,
before you give out your opinion, could you read out the comments?
Okay, so we've got a number of comments that are coming. Macrodens Piri saying, elders, well done.
Can you see them on the screen?
Yes, I can see them.
The ones we haven't read. Yeah, so maybe read the ones on the screen.
So Mr. John Matanda is saying the alliance partner spokesperson needs to tone down and allow the right channel of communication to communicate to the people. He is media excited. And then Isaac Nyirenda says, I like that one, coach. That's true. When a leader has made a wrong statement, he has to apologize without defending his wrong statement. Justice must be done always. That's from Isaac Nyirenda. And then John goes on to say, I think corruption should be a non-bailable offense. Let's start from there. So he thinks it should be a non-bailable offense.
Okay, great. You can shoot now.
Yeah, so a lot has been said with regard to the approach that President HH has taken when it comes to the fight against corruption. I think one thing I like about him is that he's been consistent in whatever he's doing, in whatever he's saying. He's been consistent. When it comes to the fight against corruption and the organizations or the institutions that are mandated to fight against corruption, he's been very blunt with them. And it's good that those organizations are sitting under his watch. Even if he is not controlling, like he has put it across, that he's not controlling those institutions, he would be able to see whether they are working or they are not working, which is a plus. And we'll be able to rate him again at the end of the day, how that's the systems that he has put, the institutions are putting in place are working. And sealing the loopholes is something that will save us a lot of costs that we are spending on purchases. So that one has to be dealt with clearly, without fear or favor. People must be held accountable with whatever decisions they are making in office. The fact that President HH is an economist, it makes things even better because he understands business transactions, and he would be able to come and sit with you and tell you this transaction is quite wrong because he understands those processes. So this country is under resumption, I would say. It's being reconstructed, and there is a lot more to be done. But to start with, we must be straightforward when it comes to corruption. That must come to an end. And the UPND government must put their foot down to ensure that corruption in this country comes to an end so that every one of us benefits from the national cake. I think that's my point.
Great.
That's beautiful. And so you are into the health space. What happens at I'm curious. What happens at Ministry of Health? I don't get
it. He happens to be one. Yeah. So
they're his relatives.
That's a good question.
They're his relatives, Pastor Chris.
Yeah, I think I can relate. Some of these things. I've been in the health space for about 9 years now, and I've been following keenly on what has been happening at Ministry of Health. And I think what is being done at the moment, President HH with his government, with the help of Honorable Sylvia Masebo, I think sanity is being restored at the Ministry of Health. And that's very important.
So you are very confident about that as a health person?
Definitely. We spend a lot when it comes to health activities, drugs to be specific. We spend a lot of money, and the minister has come out clear on that. On several meetings that I've been privileged to listen to her speaking, you would see that she really knows what she's doing. And we only hope that the people that surrounds her also be able to advise her correctly so that there is total sanity at the Ministry of Health. Otherwise, it was total chaos.
Wow.
You wanted to find out what really goes on at the Ministry of Health. Coach, for the sake of the people out there, I'm sure I have... Go on, Pastor Chris.
Yeah, what I would want to hear from you is, you may not point it out correctly. You may not point the nitty gritty, but you can say, as a young person, I think, as an entrepreneur person, and as a young person, this is what was wrong, and this is what I'm expecting to see. I want to hear that from you. What was wrong and what your expectation is now.
Thank you so much, Pastor Chris. And I think that's very important to highlight, even for the public to understand. I think in the past we saw that there was a lot of misappropriation of funds at the Ministry of Health. We can't run away from that fact. And also misallocation of these tenders. It's like there were kickbacks and all such kind of things happening around tendering. And that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs, some of us were underprivileged, young entrepreneurs especially, because you would not you would not be privy to the happening through the tendering process. Okay, some of those tenders are being done behind offices, I would say, And so that's something that we would want to see, that the right thing is done. The procurement process gets back to Ministry of, to the pharmaceutical fraternity, whereby the people that deals with drugs understand the procurement process. Of course, they would liaise with procurement officers, but they know what is being bought and at what price. So we would want the pharmaceutical industry to give advice in that regard, and then we'll be going in the right direction. If we leave it to people that do not understand the whole process, then we'll be experiencing chaos as it were in the previous government. So the pharmaceutical sector must take center stage to ensure that they give correct advice when it comes to medication. We spend quite a lot when it comes to procurement of drugs and medical supplies. And that should not be left to people who do not understand the process. So again, we are sending out a word even to the Ministry of Health to continue engaging technical people and experts in that regard, so that we save the nation a lot of costs that has been going to people's pockets.
Coach.
And I know we are diverting.
Chomba, you have to come back again, because you were not so clear with your last statements, which I believe that they are very important. I don't know whether it was on my side. I didn't hear the last point, like the solution to be provided. I missed that one. I don't know if it's
I actually heard, maybe it was on your end, because I heard it clear.
Oh, okay. So it's my end. It's my end.
But maybe you could repeat for yourself.
Yeah. So my emphasis is being placed on the Ministry of Health to identify technical people in various positions, especially the pharmaceutical sector, because supply chain is something that is understood by the pharmacists or the pharmaceutical industry. So we need experts in this area to provide guidance and give proper guidelines how the procurement process must be done. So if the ministry, for example, is procuring drugs, this process is not supposed to be done at the Ministry of Health. It has to be given to the right agencies to ensure that they do the correct thing, so that even as audits are being done, we know who to follow and to pinpoint that they are misappropriating government or public funds.
Great. Wow.
Awesome. So I was saying, Pastor Chris, we actually passed time. So maybe each one of us can take a minute. But like I said, we're going to divert a little bit. Since Obi is here, I am going to throw it back at you. Pastor Chris, the things that happen in this country that blow my mind. And I am in shock. I don't know whether the rest of you have moved on. But in less than a minute, Obi, I want you to explain to me in less than a minute, in the simplest English I can understand, how the honeybee scandal just died away. And these same people that were in the honeybee scandal are even giving advice to HH. Like make it make sense to me. Like speak in English that I can understand. I like break it down. Don't make it complicated. I still don't understand how people that supplied expired drugs, expired, condoms and all of those things, how are they still on the street? Like what happened? Like, I know we are diverting, but I'm still in shock.
Coach, that's a controversy, and we must call a spade.
No, don't give me that's a controversy. Make it plain English.
we need the right thing to be done.
Yeah.
We need the right thing to be done. It will not be good again for the UPND government, in as much as they are they are laying their ground to ensure that the future is even brighter. But first things first, I think those are cases that, let me mention, Jerome has been talking about from time immemorial. That case of honeybee must not be left hanging. It must be sorted out, because even in our space, in the pharmaceutical space, I may not go in details, but we've seen some of those pharmacies operating and changing names. The other day, another pharmacy starts operating, which we don't clearly understand. So we need the UPND government to take a stance on this one, because Zambians, we were exposed to a genocide of some sort. We were exposed to a lot of trauma
And
when
we're
it comes
still here,
to.
and the same guys are still talking.
Yeah, it's sad to see that some of them are even taking center stage to educate people about health matters, or contribute where reshaping this country is concerned. Those people must reflect and be able to take their back seats, learn, and ensure that they repent from those scandals that
Like, can they
they took
repent
this
from
country
prison?
through.
Like, can they repent from prison?
We will allow the law to take its course, as President HH puts it.
I kind of feel that anyway. Like, I leave this thing. I am not satisfied, but it's a conversation for another day. Your closing remarks, Pastor Chris.
Wow, the heart of man is wicked and desperately, the heart of man is deceitful and desperately wicked. When a conscience is seared, it becomes a very difficult time to deal with it. What is wrong should be wrong to your conscience. And the moment your conscience begins to interpret wrong as right, then we have lost society. Then we have lost you as an individual. So the only one that can come to help you probably is what my brother Chomba has put it up. There is the law. The law sometimes help you to realize that what you have been doing is wrong. So they come to enforce on you, because you personally, you have failed to judge yourself and to take accountability of yourself. There are only two ways of transformation. It's inner transformation and outside transformation. But the moment we begin to focus more on the outside transformation, we have not hidden so much on society. But what we are saying is the transformation should start with steady. He must see what is wrong and what is right, not only for himself, but for the children that have been raised, for the future that is coming. And when you think like that, you pay attention to what you are doing today. I usually say there are certain things that we do, not because I have to do them, but for the sake of the people around me, I need to do it in a different way. If for instance, if I want to pray for a meal, I can pray silently. But because I'm raising children, I have to pray loudly so that they can hear what I'm saying, so that they can learn that there is tomorrow. So there are certain things that we do, not because I need to do it personally, but because there are people around me. So to the leaders, to our leaders, make sure that you know that there are certain responsibility that you have been entrusted. It's not for you to get a job, but it's for you to do the job so that you can lift up others. Remember what we said some other time. Leaders are ladders to allow people to go further, to allow people to achieve further. If we are in this nation with the new government that we have, if the youth cannot achieve to the greatest potential of their life, the government has failed. It's the leader. They are trying to create a platform to say, young guys, there is potential that you have, but we are creating a way so that you can succeed. Look at Chomba. Look at clear mind, very clear. You can't say Chomba is lazy. You can't say he's disgruntled. You can't say that. All you need is to say, oh, Chomba, is that what you have been doing? I think we need to create a platform. Coach Steady, this challenge is on you. These materials that are coming, find a platform, take them, and say, this is what young people are saying. Create an avenue with the government. Create a platform with the government to say, I am getting some few feedback. If you don't have information, this is the information that I have. Not that you are seeking for a position, but you are like bringing synergy. You are like bringing you are like bringing coordination, society and you. There are people that will never come to this platform. Follow them up. There are leaders that will never come to this platform. Follow them up and make sure that people like Chomba, they are people that will stand out and inspire other youth, so that this language is going to change and the mindset is going to change. If Chomba's grown up in pharmaceutical there and he has seen all the dirty things that have been happening, next time we see Chomba saying, I want to be in politics, and yet his desire is to ensure that he's appointed as a Minister of Health so that he does the same thing that he was seeing which was happening there, then we have roast Chomba. To me, that is not the society that we should be in. Let's encourage the good, let's discourage the bad. Let's lift up the good and let's bring down the bad. And this is what you are doing. Let it not only end on this platform, let it be carried out, so that one day Chomba would say, I attended that program, I was on that program, and this is the aftermath of it. That's my desire, and that's my goal.
Amen. 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 Amen.
I'm glad you have shouted amen.
All right. Obi, you have 30 seconds to your last words.
Mine is an appreciation to you, Coach Steady Divine, for the platform. It's where we're supposed to be as youths, and you should keep it up. It's not an easy thing to do. Not everyone is bored out there to put up these conversations where I would sit and analyze President HH. And I'm glad also to be in the same seat with Pastor Chris. The wisdom that has been poured out is something that I'll be meditating upon all the days of my life. That's great, Pastor Chris. And it's been wonderful. And fellow youths out there, I'm sure these are conversations we need to be having. This country is not for one man to lead, but it's for every one of us must put in our efforts and contribute in one way or the other. We may not be at the center stage in government systems, but we've got a responsibility to ensure that the right thing is done. Even for our children who are coming, they should find a very better platform than we found in this country. So thank you so much. That's what I had. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Pastor Chris, really appreciate your, downloading your wisdom, Obi, your wisdom. We appreciate all of those things. And to everybody that showed up here, John, and everybody else that put their comments out there, Isaac, I want to say thank you for coming in. And like I said, this is a platform that you can go to and be able to bring out what is in your heart and share with everybody, and just be able to add value to the country. We're going to grow it. We're going to make it bigger. And I believe it's going to grow. It's going to transform how we have conversations in this country, because that's my heart's desire. One of the things we don't do well in Zambia is we don't know how to sit on one table and disagree and still love each other. And that's a purpose for the Talk Lounge Zambia, where we can come and say, I respect you, I honor you, and I know your heart is in the right place. We may disagree on opinions, but we'll still come back and still have conversations, with whatever is happening. So to everyone that keeps showing up, like I always say, let's make wisdom sexy. This country needs it. Look at all the wisdom that has been able to come out from this platform. We need to spread it. We need to have conversation with as many young people and older people, and Pastor Chris's generation as well, to be able to come in the space and to be able to pour this wisdom. So thank you so much, everybody. Have an amazing, and by the way, if you have a topic, you have a suggestion, feel free to send it to us and then we'll be able to cover it. And we want to see more people come in and ask questions live on this platform, so we could have interactive conversations with everybody. Like what we've done, we've had conversation. Make sure you jump in, and I keep asking for that to happen. But it's going to take all of us to make all these things happen. So God bless you. Have an amazing evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.